What's up, guys? I'm Random Frank P, and today we're gonna be talking about my top 5 favorite gaming mice of 2021 so far. We're about halfway through the year, a little bit more. We have a ton of gaming mice coming out for the holidays. A bunch are just around the corner. So these are my favorite that I've been using and have tested for the past 6-7 months so far. If you want to check any of them out, I'll have them all listed for you in the description down below. And today's video is also sponsored by Karma, which is an app and a Chrome extension to save you guys some money, shopping the web for coupon codes, discounts, all that stuff. More on that in a little bit. Now, first up, starting off my top 5 is actually gonna be a runner-up, because again, this is all preference, all my personal favorite list so far, but I still wanna give you guys an honorable mention. That's gonna be the SwiftPoint Tracer. And I bet nobody saw this coming because it's the complete opposite of today's trends, but that's really why I like it. It caters to that entire audience of people who aren't just gamers, but those who need a crazy mouse with 15 specific functions. And you may remember the popular SwiftPoint Z mouse from a few years ago. This is pretty much its little brother, but technically it's far from little, tipping the scales at just around 115 grams, and obviously given the large ergo size, this will not be for the baby hands out there. It has knuckle buttons, paddles on paddles, extra inputs for deep clicks. It's literally macros on macros. Photo editors, video editors, MMO players, rejoice. Inside is a 12,000 DPI PMW3360 optical sensor. No fancy light cable or hyperglide feet, but the amount of sheer inputs and customization you really have now with this makes it a great option for those who need something like this mouse. Now, it is a bit on the pricier side at around $150, but like I said before, I wanted to give it the runner-up nod because of just how crazy it is, all the extra customization and functionality that's really capable with this. And it's not your everyday mouse for, the current mouse market. It's really shifted to the lightweight wireless mice and stuff, and this is not that, even though it is for, I would say, a wider audience with gaming, productivity, CAD, 3D design, all the stuff that you can really take advantage of this for. Like I said, definitely worthy of the runner-up nod. And as I also mentioned, this video is sponsored by Karma. So if you're trying to save some money, Karma can definitely help you out. Karma is an app and a Chrome extension that's constantly using tech behind the scenes to scan the web for coupon codes, price drops, all that good stuff to save you guys some money on whatever you're shopping for. And I literally just got this recently. I saved 20 bucks on this. It's a crazy cool looking speaker. I'll have a video on this soon. But apparently eBay was having some 4th of July sale. I had no idea. Karma helped me out. So on the Karma site or the Chrome web store, you just install the Karma plugin with the Add to Chrome button. Takes 3 seconds. Now when you're shopping on your favorite sites, you can track items, save them, create lists, and get notifications via email or mobile push when that saved item comes back in stock, is on sale, or if there's an active coupon code. And for products you want, you can choose when it notifies you. Create lists to manage certain products into organized categories, and then when you save it, it'll be tracked going forward, and everything else you've saved to save you some money. And speaking of which, Karma scans your cart for coupon codes, so you don't have to manually search the web yourself. It's just one click of the button, and it'll do all the scanning and applying the codes for you automatically, so you know you're always getting the best deal for your money. This feature is just on your computer, so the Chrome extension is a must. Also, you can earn money as you shop with their Karma Cash when you shop select sites and retailers. So you're seeing a pattern here, more money in your pocket. So if you want to check it out and save some money, as you probably do, I'll have the Karma link for you in the description down below. Hopefully you can save some money on some gaming mice if you're trying to upgrade. Hence today's video. Now, coming in at number 5 is a relatively newer mouse on the market, and that's the brand new, very customizable Razer Orochi V2. Coming in at 60 grams, this little egg is certainly on the smaller side. Very popular though as a mobile mouse, but also given the shape and size, you can see it's pretty much a direct competitor with Logitech G305, another very popular mouse already out there. One of the things I really like they're doing with this is the top shell is now swappable. You can pick from a ton of different designs and colors. They're constantly making more and giving people more option to really customize the look of their mouse. I think that's really cool. It snaps on with magnets and you got a new mouse pretty much. So the Orochi V2 does have their hyperspeed technology, and for the sensor, it's their 5G 18K sensor. And they're also using their newer 2nd gen Razer switch. These are not optical switches, but they are rated up to 60 million clicks. So these are, like I said, a newer version of their previous switches. Underneath, we do have 100% PTFE feet for a nice and smooth glide. And in terms of battery, popping off the top shell, you'll see 2 slots, one for a AA and one for a AAA. And this is really cool because now you don't have to do the AAA mod, you could still cut down on some weight. And just the longevity is crazy. You can use this over Bluetooth and get over 900 hours, Or with their Hypersmooth technology, if you just use the included dongle, you get up to 450 hours. I really like the upgrades we have now in the V2, and it's no wonder why this is so popular already. So the Orochi V2 is just around $70, which is definitely a bit of a heftier price tag than Logitech G305, like I said before, but it's going to be often compared to due to the shape and size. But I think the upgrades here make it worthy for those who really like and need a mouse like this. But for me, it's just not my favorite size, not too comfortable for me, which is why it comes in at number 5. But I can understand, due to the popularity of the size, why for someone out there, this could very well be endgame. But for me, number 5 today, Orochi V2. Now, number 4 is a bit of a familiar one, but an updated version. This is the Ponage Ultra Custom Sim. This is a symmetrical version of the Ergo one we showed off last year. And again, the big thing with these ultra custom mice is the fact that they are literally ultra custom. Swappable shells, left and right clicks, tons of colors and color combos for you to create not only a mouse that's gonna match your setup aesthetic, but one to match your playstyle as well. Because with the solid shell and the honeycomb offering, your mouse can range anywhere from 68 grams or up to 79 grams if you go all solid. Swapping shells is all toolless. It uses little magnets to snap into place, and they're now offering color matching cables if you want to use this wired or for charging, as well as colored skin grips to add to your mouse. Inside is a PMW 3335 optical sensor up to 16,000 DPI. We have Omron 50M switches inside that give a nice crisp click, integrated RGB around the scroll wheel, the inner shell glows, and there's a strip along the backside. And there's 3 different modes you can use this mouse with. The office mode is more low powered, also kills all RGB lighting, rated for 66 hours of battery. The gaming mode with RGB on is rated for 40 hours, or obviously you can use this wired if you please, and it recharges fully in an hour, which is good to see. Underneath, we have 100% PTFE feet, including an additional set inside the box if you want that really nice slick glide without having to buy, additional aftermarket skates if they wear out. And I just really enjoy using the sim. I found that gaming with the mix of solid and honeycomb shells really didn't have too much of an effect on me, meaning even though I was shedding a few extra grams, my gaming was consistent, and adding the solid shell also didn't throw me off. You can pick up the sim for $80, which is a really good price, but you do have to pay, obviously, extra if you want the colored shells or extra grips and stuff like that. And again, I reviewed the Ergo version last year, and I just really like what Ponage is doing here. I think this mouse is super underrated right now. Now, number 3 is gonna be admittedly a bit of a controversial one because of the price and of the brand, and if that doesn't give it away, well, we have the Finalmouse Starlight 12. But for what it really is unlike anything out there currently. So the big selling point with these new Finalmouse releases are the weight and construction, because Finalmouse is using this magnesium shell to cut down the weight into uncharted territories really, coming in at 42 grams for their small version and 47 grams for the medium version, which is the one I've been using because I think the small is just too small for me. My medium version came in at 49 grams on the scale, but still, that's light. And it's crazy because when you first pick it up, it feels solid in the sense that the magnesium chassis won't give into it if you squeeze or put too much force on it. The bottom is not magnesium though, and that definitely has some flex to it if you squeeze it, so don't do that. But it's literally so light that I thought the box was empty at first. It's really something once you first hold it. Now, we all know how Finalmouse is, very over the top and out there sometimes on social media with their tweets and just their way of doing things, but man, credit where credit is due, because this thing is feather light and really unlike any other mouse I've tried out there. Again, if you use the small version, it's barely 40 grams. Think about that. Inside, they are using their own final sensor, it's called, with a resolution up to 20,000 CPI, rated at 100 hertz polling finally, and the battery life is also crazy. I used this for around 5 weeks before I had to recharge it, and I'm not gaming 12 hours, every single day. They do say the estimate's gonna be around 3 weeks for the average gamer, but it can stay on and idle for up to 16 weeks. That's insane. Now, gaming with this was fun for sure, which is why it's making the list today at number 3. It really does kind of feel like an extension of my hand at some point, given its lightweight. Flicks were on point, and we have the 100% PTFE feet on the bottom, so this thing just flies on any mouse pad. And if you're using a control pad combined with this weight, you're gonna be dialed in like you're on Adderall. I usually use a hybrid like Speed Mat, and I think that was just too fast for this. So these Starlight 12 mice come in 4 different variants for color options, from silver, gold, black, and here red. And I will say the kind of painted design it has is kind of too cheesy for my liking. They're going with this whole Greek god approach. I do wish it was just one solid color or something less busy. At the end of the day, these retailed for $190, which, yes, is bonkers. But like always, they sold out way too quickly, so your best bet is hopping on eBay and spending way too much of an aftercharge of people just trying to make a buck. Now for number 2, winding down is one of the newer ones on the market. This is the SteelSeries Prime Wireless. I reviewed this back in May. When I say this thing is the king of shape for me, I mean it. At 80 grams, my fingertip claw hybrid grip just instantly fell in love with its ergo design. One thing I noticed here is a textured matte finish that is just oh so subtle, but it provides a really nice grip in the hand. And instead it uses this micro texture, which allows for a quick and easy cleanup of oils from your hands that could cause smudges. That all wipes off in a second. But just the feel is really nice. Like, it's not quite rubber, it's not quite plastic, it's a really cool combo. We do have subtle RGB with the illuminating scroll wheel. Inside of their brand new optical switches called Prestige OM, and they're a magnetic optical switch designed completely from the ground up by using this tension spring mechanism inside. It actuates the infrared light beams registered to your PC. That signal is then sent immediately, allowing for 100 million clicks, so they're fast and they got the longevity. And the sensor inside that complement their Quantum 2.0 wireless tech is their TrueMove Air optical, allowing for a 100 to 18,000 CPI range. Battery life, also awesome. 100 hours. You can't complain at all. I love it. And it comes in just around 120 bucks. So as I said in my review of the Prime Wireless, I feel like hands down, pun intended, this is the most comfortable mouse I've ever used. The shape, the size feels like it was sculpted to fit my hand and my grip preference. I absolutely love it. And it very well could have been number 1 today. But something recently came in and kind of stole my heart and is now stealing the show. Because we have the Endgame Gear XM1 RGB Dark Frost. I know it's wired, I wish it was wireless, that would hands down be my new main going forward. But this guy, love everything. This might be a shocker to a lot of you out there considering a few things. 1, it's not wireless. 2, I've said a lot of times in the past that I prefer a nice ergo shape, and this is symmetrical. Like, technically it's ergo because it only has the 2 side buttons on the left side, but by design, the shape, it is symmetrical. You get what I'm saying. And going right along with that is their dry grip coating. So on this Dark Frost version, you could see, it's translucent. You can sort of see through it, giving the RGB a really nice but diffused glow. This is gonna be also great for people who are in the custom keyboard community out there. Maybe you have a polycarbonate board. This would go along with it perfectly. They also have a Dark Reflex version, I think it's called, which is all glossy black. But just the shape, the coating, it is all nailing it. It does tip my scales at 78 grams, which obviously no complaints there. And it's actually lighter than the original XM1R RGB. I just put that one on, I think it was around 82 grams on my scale. So somewhere along the way, they shed 4 grams here. Inside the Pixart PMW3389 sensor goes from 50 up to 16,000 CPI. Adjustable in 50 CPI increments, by the way. A lot of these mice are only adjustable in like 100 or so I like that extra customization. And we also have KLGM 4.0 switches. They are custom made by Endgame Gear, and they're rated for 60 million clicks. Underneath, like we've seen before, PTFE feet, nice and slick glides, very smooth. And the paracord, given it's wired, very light and flexible, does not cause any drag or resistance, doesn't cause any interference at the end of the day, which is always good. Would I have loved this to have been wireless? Of course. Once that happens, that's gonna be my number 1. But given, it is wired, at least the paracord here, nice and flexible, does not interfere with any of my gameplay. Gaming with this has just felt like new. I don't know. I've mained the Viper Ultimate pretty much since release, right? I'm sure a lot of you know that. The transition from that to this was seamless. I just felt like I was on cloud 9. I love everything about this mouse. The XM1R Dark Frost comes in at 70 bucks, as well as the Dark Reflex version if you want it glossy instead of matte. So while that'll do it for the top 5 gaming mice of 2020 so far, so I got a few more months and we do the whole wrap up of the year, I do want to mention 2 other mice that I know I'm going to see in the comments down below. And again, even though this is completely my preference for me and my hand size and my gaming style, still want to mention them anyway, just to get some clarifications out there. I know I'm going to see questions about the Roccat Kone Pro Air, which is a very good mouse. I have it in, I've tested it, but at the end of the day, I still just prefer the shape and the size of the Prime Wireless. So this kind of took that spot for me. Again, it's a good mouse. I just like this better than the other ones on this list better as well. And also the XTRFY Zeiss Rail. That's a very popular mouse right now as well, but I personally cannot stand the shape. It is just way too flat. Very uncomfortable for me. Like it was painful to use for a while. It's kind of adjust to it because it is so flat. It's like using a pancake. Again, I know tons of people love that mouse and that's great, but for me, my hand size, my preference, I just cannot do that. No. But all right, guys, that'll wrap it up for this video of my top 5 favorite gaming mice of 2021 so far. If you want to check them out, I'll have them all listed for you in the description down below, as well as the download link to Karma, again, to save you guys some money. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at RandomFrankP. And lastly, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Hope you all enjoyed. Have a good day.